my constituents and with people in Maryland knows that I'm not a bleeding heart on this issue. I'm just following the facts and all the information. And so I honestly don't understand what that analysis is where that's coming from, because having a judge decide where the case goes is obviously that's an element of fairness, but also we're going to save a lot of money and time, and that money can be reinvested in prevention and treatment measures. But also, when you go to the adult system, cases can languish for up to 180 days. They're not going to get services, they're not going to get education, and they're going to be more likely to recidivate. 85% of the cases that start off in the adult system are going to come back down to the juvenile system anyway. If you have that case, if you have a judge making an informed decision to start that case, let's say in the juvenile system, that youth is going to get treatment, services, and it's going to be less likely to recidivate. So not only going to save money, you're going to also have better public safety outcomes. And so for the life of me, I just can't understand the opposition to this bill. It's a measured and balanced approach to public safety.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hot mic. Hot mic. Hot mic. Rise in the name of the Lord, the great God of the universe, giving honor to all his true and divine prophets, giving honor to the prophet in these days and times, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam, welcome to Temple Talk. I am Grand Sheikh Romeo Joyner L. from Temple number 7 of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Rosedale, Maryland. Welcome to Temple Talk. As always, before I begin, I want to make a disclaimer. The purpose of this podcast is for information purposes only. Acknowledgements of men and women in the community from which I live and which I grew up into. And I can talk about my experiences because they are what they are. I want to also say that the views and opinions of the listeners may not be the views and opinions of Romeo Joyner L, but they're consistent with the teachings of the Moorish Science Temple of America, of the 5 principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. However, I am not going to speak radical of any member of any organized group, but I'm going to share my experiences as I know them, and I'm going to give honor to whom honor is due. If you have any questions about anything that you hear or see on this podcast, be assured that I'm capable, qualified, and competent to defend anything that I say, I discuss, or that I present. Only thing that I ask that you do, be critical of me in decency and order, keep an open mind, and don't hold me to the set of standards that you won't hold yourself. Now, I want to begin by thanking my supporters. I want to begin with the Moors out of state. I want to thank my brother. I call him my little big brother because he's small in stature, but he's a very powerful, dynamic teacher, and he's a person that I love so much. My words can only say this about him. If you ever get a chance to get a blessing to meet this brother, his name is Brother Akhenaton Uno Il, Zabda Il Uno Il, affectionately known as Brother Unk. This brother has been around well over 50 years. If you get a chance to meet him, you'll get a blessing of your life. I want to thank that brother for having me and in his company and giving me the blessings that he gives me. He's a family member that I love a whole lot, and he will stick closer to you than a brother. So thank you, Brother Unk. I want to also thank the brother. He's in Hampton, Virginia, by the way. I want to thank my brother, Sheik, called the Loach Bay. He's in Norfolk, Virginia, state for which I was born. He's a very good brother, excellent cook, dynamic speaker. He loves music. He works for a travel agency as a chef. If you ever had this brother cook for you, you're getting a blessing. I also want to thank the Moors who are in Newport News. That's Brother Governor Ira McMillan L. And also the Grand Sheikas, Cambria, Kettle L. I want to thank those 2 Moors because they've been longtime supporters of me. Two good soldiers of Drew Ali. I want to also thank, in the state of North Carolina, Fayetteville to be specifically, Grand Sheik Lorenzo Portisell Esquire. Yes, the brother's going to be an attorney. I'm giving his props now because this is a dynamic Grand Sheik. He does a lot of work in the community. He's a wonderful brother. He's always supported this temple. Now, I want to take a little care for a quick and mention one other brother that I hadn't mentioned in my previous broadcast, but I got to give honor who honor is due. That's Brother Charles Brownell. And the last time I heard, he was in, he's Grand Sheik, Brother Charles Brownell. He's up in Albany, New York. Also give honor to Professor, a doctor of education, a PhD that I love a whole lot, another good brother, and that's Sheik Billy Denham L. If this brother is a powerful blessing in anybody's life. He's down with holistic medicine. He's a student and a practitioner and a master of the martial arts. He knows the prophet's lessons backwards and forwards, and he's a good brother to dialogue with. And if you get a chance to meet that brother, you'll get a blessing. That's Brother Billy Denham L. Sheik Ellis. He's known on Facebook. Contact that brother. You'll get a blessing. Also want to thank in the state of Chicago, Brother Walter Carlos L. I want to thank all the Moors that live in that jurisdiction for all of their support. Now, I want to come to Baltimore. I want to first thank my brother, Brian Andrew Patrick Joyner Sr. Brother that I don't take for granted. I know he's a loyal brother. He's a blood relative. 13 years my senior. He celebrated a birthday on the 11th, and I know it's a very traumatic time for him because we lost Alma, who made their transition the day before his solar return, and it deeply disturbs him because of that, because of the circumstances and the way it went down. Offer some comfort to him and let him know he's going to always have a special place in my heart because I watched him from a young child grow into being a man and being responsible for people, taking care of other people's family members, at the same time neglecting himself. And they say to us, every victory over self is added strength, but that brother's demonstrated that numerous times. So I want to go a little deeper and say to the brothers and sisters who live specifically in that Park Heights community, on Litchfield, Beulah Avenue, up on Park Heights, the terrace of Park Heights, I want to thank YMB Howell, good dedicated sister, who've always supported me, who will literally do anything for anybody in the community. Very gifted sister, powerful, blessed. That sister can read you like a card deck. I want to give honor to her for supporting me and the temple here, and also being patient and also being resilient, faced with a lot of adversity, but she never stopped her mission and aiding others. I want to thank her. I also want to thank her for my spiritual sons. That's Big Son and that's L. I love these young men because these are young men who let you see them as who they are and what they represent. And she did a good job with these two young men. Big Son, I love you, and I can't wait to sit down with you and dialogue with you, and one day maybe have you on the show. And L, I hear that you cook, and you're an outstanding person in the community, and people love and respect you. I'm waiting to meet you too, because I got a special gift for you, because I know what you like, and I know what I want you to have. So I want to thank my spiritual sons that YMB Howell gave me, Big Son and L. I love you too. Always remember, and if you need anything, you call me directly immediately. I also want to thank my nephew who lives up in that community, Joshua Emmanuel Joyner. Another good brother. My son blessed me with him. My brother blessed me with him. He's not only my nephew, he's a spiritual son too. So I want to start off by saying this. If I didn't mention you during the next broadcast, which will be titled the Daughters of Baltimore, because we have some sisters in Baltimore City who do outstanding things. And if you know who you think need to get recognition, who you want to acknowledge for the work they do in the community, please mention their names in the comments. Give me a call at 443-414-94443. We want to give people their roses while they're here. Now, this particular broadcast, please like and subscribe. Donations accepted, but not necessarily needed. Titled The Sons of Baltimore. And I want to thank Baltimore, and because they do a lot of stuff for this city, and sometimes they're not acknowledged. I want to thank Donnie Glover, who lives down in the Sandtown community. Donnie Glover has been always a help to me. He supported me when I worked behind the walls with young people. He's very good with young people. He worked in the community. He's an educated, young, wise brother, son of Baltimore. I want to thank Another brother, some of you might be familiar with him, and some don't, but I knew him and I watched him transcend to being a remarkable person. And that's Rudy Linwood Williams. Now, I will tell you this. I think the brother's close to 80 years old now. But the one thing that I always knew about him, in spite of what society might have said, when you looked into this man's eyes, you saw that he was special. He's gifted and that he knew how to reach people. This young man is, because I say young man, even though he's 80, he's still a young soul. Writing plays, he's mentoring people, and I want to give him his honor right now because one of the things that people do sometimes that really disturbs me, they're quick to be critical of people when they can find fault in them, but they never give them the credit for the things that they do right. So I want to tell you, Mr. Rudy Linwood Williams, that we didn't forget about you. At least I didn't, because I spoke to you inside and outside, and I know the type of soul that you are. And may Allah continue to bless you, and may anything that you do, you be successful at it. I want to go to another one. I want to mention another young man that may not have been born physically here in Baltimore, but I watched him work with young people. And his name is Herman Tolbert Sr. Born in New York, came here as a young person to Baltimore, played basketball with young men, taught them to play chess, which is a life lesson, taught them social skills, very open-minded individual to new things and change, and a prolific, a very good writer. He has books that he wrote that I have autographed copies on playing chess. I want to thank Herman Tolbert Sr. Then, this next young man, he no longer lives here in Maryland, but I met him as a co-worker. He's done a lot for the community. And his name is Alfonso Livingston. When I met Alfonso Livingston, he risked his job standing up for me when I was right. When everybody else turned their backs on me and ran for the hills, Mr. Alfonso Livingston risked his job and made sure that I was handled justly and that I didn't lose my job. So I want to thank that brother too. And not only that, when my lodge was on the brink of being destroyed and being messed up, he brought people to me. He's helped me when I wanted to make a trip and I was not in the best financial shape. That brother came to a rescue and I didn't have to beg him or ask him twice. So I want to thank Brother Alfonso Livingston. Next, I got another brother. I haven't heard from him in a while. Another good brother. I'm just going to give his initials because for the safety, I'm going to say Brother JJ, Brother Johnson. I haven't seen him in a while, but that's a brother that I learned to respect too, because once he gave his word on something, he never took it back and he never defaulted on it. So Brother Johnson, and you know where you are, my phone's still open. You can call me and I would love to hear from you. Got another brother that I want to mention. He has a podcast show, Moorish World. I only met him one time, but the one time I met him, I left with a smile on my face because I saw the energy that he brought, and I knew he was a new and a different type of spirit, but we need brothers like that. And that's Brother Tahaka Bey. I've never seen him do anything wrong. I see him stand on what he knows. Sometimes I didn't agree with him, but guess what? The brother has a way of presenting the knowledge that he has and the way where you have to respect him. So if you're listening, brother, please call me, 443-414-9443, because I would love to sit down with you, not to antagonize you or to challenge you or debate with you, just to just sit down and break bread with you to get to know you more. I want to mention another brother out of Muhammad Mosque number 6, Marcus Williams. Marcus is a strong brother who believes in taking young people and direct them in the right way. He can stand on what he knows. He loves to teach. He's an outstanding teacher. He reads everything. And Brother Marcus, as I'll say a middle-aged man, He's a prolific speaker. He reads everything, and he's really a good person to know. He has a lot of impact on young people, and he's done some remarkable things within his family. I'm not going to put that out, but when I heard from him on what he did with his family, I really like this brother. So being around him gave me a spark of energy too, because I'm about family myself. And this brother is impressive. He speaks well. He's patient. He's good with people, and you can trust him. Thank you, Brother Williams. I'm going to go to another son of Baltimore. He's an older gentleman. He's been in the news quite often. And he was a pastor of that Union Baptist Church. And he was involved in the Head Start program when I worked as a supervisor there. I didn't get a chance to talk to him a whole lot. But when I did, when I was in his company, I saw that he was somebody that young people could learn from, that people ought to listen to. And he had a lot of impact on the city. And that's Reverend Alvin Hathaway. And I want to say, Reverend Hathaway, we have differences, but I know you're about right. I know you stand on principle and you're a man of respect. And people are going to always respect you, and you're never going to have a problem out of people because your word is what it is. And you stand on what you know. So thank you, Reverend Alvin Hathaway. Now, I want to go into some things that might be a little dicey for some people, but at the same time, they need to be said. When we dealing with one another, we need to deal with each other with a degree of decorum and respect. We need to know how to have differences and disagree without being disagreeable, without disrespecting one another. That's very critical in our community. When it comes down to young men, when you see young men in public, greet them. Don't be afraid of them, greet them. You'd be surprised, a smile and saying how you did today, young man, and how you feeling today. The response you get sometimes will be breathtaking because they're so used to people assuming that they are bad and that they're wrong and that they up to no good. Just by you speaking to them and smiling and greeting them, that changed the whole energy. We got a lot of good young men that live in the city of Baltimore. We got a lot of good men that live there. And they deserve to be treated with a degree of dignity and respect, not with suspicion. Don't look at them with contempt or disdain. Look them in the eye without even fear or contempt. These are good people. Same thing with our young sisters. Younger women are used to people disrespecting them. Sometimes they don't give them the respect that they deserve. And you never know what young people are going through. When you encounter young people, keep in your mind that sometimes they facing some pretty dire circumstances. You don't know what they've been through before they met you, but a simple thing like a salutation, a comment that's positive, or smile or say how you feeling today, young lady, or saying that you're looking nice, or that you know, is there anything I can do to help you? That goes a long way. So the next part is a little bit touchy. When it comes down to the good old police, know one thing: police have a job, and their job is to protect and to serve. All police are not bad. We have in any profession bad people. They're going to be bad lawyers. There will be bad doctors. There will be bad dentists. They will be bad a whole lot of people. That's why they have to have insurance. So when they're bad, they can transfer the risk to a company, not from themselves. So you have to keep that in mind. Now, when you encounter police, you should take a passive attitude. Be mindful the same way you want to go home to your family, they want to go home to theirs. They have rules they have to follow. And you know that sometimes the rules might not be favorable to you, or you might not like them, but just what it is. It's a rule in the job. So when you see things on television, you hear things in the news, keep an open mind and look at all of the moving parts. Then you can make your conclusion. But to specifically or to purposely say there was intent and wrongdoing and don't have all the facts, that's not fair. Everybody has a right to due process. Everybody has a right to due process. Now, next little piece I want to say is to the Moorish American community. And some of us know today we celebrate what's called the Moorish New Year. There's no harm in that. I will tell people there's nothing wrong with honoring our prophet. So when you see Moors do it and you disagree with it, leave things alone. Remember one thing, if they're Moorish Americans, Allah is their God, Ali is their prophet, and their worship is Friday, that's all the thing you should be concerned with. You shouldn't be trying to judge them on some petty stuff because you're irritated with them or you don't like something they did to you in the past. Let that go. Revenge ain't one of your 5 principles. Holding on to a grudge ain't one of them. It's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I will tell the Moors, if you have a problem with your brother, your sister, talk to them. Don't berate them on Facebook, YouTube, social media. Talk to them. Now, you're supposed to do this out of love. Well, we have sisters that might not be conscious or brothers that might not be conscious. Keep in mind, we were like them too. These are our people. Nobody's coming to save us. We got to be responsible for each other. So if you have to check them, do it out of love. So I want to say to the Moors, right now, there's no reason for anybody to be homeless, hungry, or without work if you can. And even if you can't work and you're applying for services that you need, SSI, SSDI, or both, you contact somebody. That somebody could be me or any other conscious soul that works within that system. Right now, I'm going to make this known, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's a fact. Right now, I am the project manager for the Department of Social Services for Baltimore City. I'm the head of the security department. If you are a person who wants work in the field of security, working in the Department of Social Services, we have 12 sites. We have Pennsylvania and North Avenue. We have Reedburg, which is in Cherry Hill. We have Hilton Heights, which is in Evanston Village. We have downtown offices, Guilford Avenue and Calvert Street. We have Biddle Street. We have the good old 2000 North Broadway. You know how to get in contact with me. I give the number out every week, 443-414-9443. I only asked if you don't have all of your credentials, that means a guard card, first aid training, Narcan training, CPR, that's not a problem. I have instructors on hand. I will help you to get your credentials. Only thing I ask you is to be consistent in me helping you. And then that when you up and able to function on your own, help somebody else. Pay it forward. So again, if you have a background in security, whether you armed or unarmed, even if you have a record, there are some instances where you can get a security guard card. You won't know unless you try. Please remember this. This temple is here to help people to empower themselves. Employment, housing, and if you have an insecurity for food, or if you're homeless, you call me, I'll put you in the right direction. Make sure you get the things that you need. If you're a returning citizen, for some of you don't understand what that term means, if you coming home from the crypts or the prisons or the halfway houses or the jails, don't hold your head down. Closed mouths don't get fed. There are services that you're entitled to that you may not know about, but if you talk to someone being me, I'll be glad to see that you can get what you are entitled to so that you can have a better quality of life. Remember, if I improve your quality of life, I'm gonna help myself, and helping you, I'm gonna help me. So this is a win-win. We're located at 6628 Kenwood Avenue, Rosedale, Maryland. The phone number here is 443-414-9443. 9443. You go on an interview. You don't have money to get there. Don't stay home. Make that phone call. We'll get you to work. We'll help you to get there. We're not going to say we're going to roll out the limousine, but we'll get you back at home. We want to see you employed so you can have a better quality of life. Make that phone call. If you're hungry and don't have nothing to eat, make that phone call. There are places all over the city we can send you to where you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, last thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to shut this thing down for the day. If you are a mother or a father with children between the ages of 3 and 5 years old, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you have children that age, you are eligible for early childhood education. You don't pay for that. That's free. Only thing you need to have is proof of address. If you don't have any income, zero income, and have a birth certificate. That alone will get you to the door of Union Baptist Head Start. There your child can go to school. They get breakfast, lunch, and a snack, and they're learning things about life. They get taught life lessons. They get taught lessons, reading, writing, and math. They're located on Druid Avenue. If additional information is needed, call me, 443-414-9443. And some more is posted. You sound like a public service announcement. That's exactly what I am, a public servant. And I don't have a problem making an announcement. And if you don't like the announcements I'm making, don't watch the show. Go watch something else. Because I'm going to be here and I'm going to teach and I'm going to provide services anytime the opportunity presents itself. And if you have a problem with that, then maybe you need to see something else, because I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until, like the good brother said, until Allah calls my number. So with that being said, peace and love. Until the next time, Islam, and thank you for watching Temple Talk. Peace.